Welcome everyone. Today we'll talk about risk management lifecycle in portfolio program and project management. Again, I repeat, risk management lifecycle in portfolio program and project management. So, welcome to Navigating Risk, a comprehensive guide to risk management in portfolio, in program, and in project management. This presentation, or should I say this video, will provide you insight into how to identify, assess, and mitigate risk to achieve a successful project outcome. Now, how do we define this risk? Believe it in the pic that you see in your screen. It is all about defining risk and how you're going to manage those projects. It encompasses the potential for both positive and negative outcomes. It is essential to assess and prioritize risks to minimize their impact on project success. Thorough risk identification involves recognizing potential risk and opportunities that could impact project objectives. This process requires input from all stakeholders and to ensure a comprehensive understanding of potential risk thereby. So, risk assessment technique. Effective risk assessment involves utilizing techniques such as qualitative and quantitative analysis, probability, and impact matrix. Even expert judgment, these method helps in evaluating the likelihood of happening, likelihood of, and the impact of the identified risk. This is what we are talking around it as far as risk management techniques as the case might be. Again, I repeat, effective risk assessment involves utilizing techniques such as qualitative and quantitative analysis, probability and impact matrix, expert judgment. These methods help in evaluating likelihood and impact of identified risk. So let us understand what is portfolio management. Portfolio management are nothing but comprises of programs which have projects which is included within the programs, and then there are projects which are excluded to the program. So in totality, these projects, these programs are part of your portfolio. A portfolio is a collection of projects or a program or and any other work that are grouped together to facilitate effective management of that work to meet strategic business objective. The projects or programs in portfolio may not necessarily be interdependent or directly related as such. The project pipeline without portfolio management, if you look into it, the ideas get proliferated. You might have plentiful of ideas, and then they are put in a project pipeline as in a machinery, and probably we need to understand, check out certain projects which are not successful and they are failures, and then there are certain projects which gets completed. Look, the plentiful of ideas that have been available out here, and what happens, the few projects that gets actually accomplished. Now, what happened with project pipeline with portfolio management? This is where you are putting in another new filter, as in the business case filter, the benefits filter, the value filter, and then based upon it, you will pick and choose project thereby. Still, there are failures, but this time the failures are less. This time, the probability of hitting successful projects are much more higher. Positioning portfolio management. Now, what is it all about? It look what we are looking at. It start right from the top vision, which then falters into mission and organizational strategies and objective, wherein you have an operational level management which are looking into the execution of the organization's mission, and then there are project portfolio management where people have been assigned particular tasks. People have certain verticals, certain markets, certain functional to achieve to, which relates to the management of ongoing operation and management of authorized programs and projects. This is what we are calling uh, as a positioning of portfolio management. The ongoing operations are recurring up activities, where our management of authorized projects are prioritized activities. Why link portfolio to strategies? Maintaining portfolio alignment to organizational strategic goals, allocating financial resources according to its priorities, and allocating human resources according to its priorities. Measuring projects' contributions to strategic goals, strategic risk management, showing how project risk will affect overall strategic goals thereby. Now, relation between project management and portfolio management, if you look into it and what we are trying to do, remember there is a two-way relationship. So, portfolio management would comprises of strategies and priorities, progressive elaboration, portfolio level changes, and governance issue. Whereas project management will all about be performance report, change and request with the impact of the other component as the case might be, and we keep on rebalancing the issues time and again. That is what beautiful relationship that the project management and the portfolio management would comprises thereby. Let us understand the differences based on scope. Projects will have definite objective. Scope is progressively elaborated through the project life cycle, whereas portfolios have business scope that changes with the strategic goals of the organization. Change. Project managers expect change and implement process to keep change managed and controlled. Whereas portfolios management will be looking about continually monitoring changes in the broad environment. Planning. Project managers progressively elaborate high-level information into detailed plans throughout the project lifecycle. Whereas in portfolios, the portfolio managers would create and maintain necessary processes and communication relative to the aggregate portfolio. Management. Under projects, the project manager will manage the project teams to meet the project objectives. Under portfolio, the portfolio managers might manage and coordinate portfolio management staff. The success is measured by product and project qualities, timeliness, budget compliance, and degree of customer satisfaction. Whereas in the portfolios, the success is measured in terms of aggregate performances of the portfolio component. Monitoring. The project managers monitors and controls the projects of producing the products, services, or result that the project was undertaken to produce. Now it is all about the portfolio. The portfolio manager will monitor the aggregate performances and value indicators. See, in tandem, they work with tactics and strategies thereby. The scope wise, let's say, let us dissect one at a time. Projects will have definite objective or defined objective, and as you progress, the scope is getting elaborated or things getting clearer and visible. Whereas in portfolios, business scope is changing with the changing strategic goals. It is in dynamic marketing environment, and that is where it needs to, it gets evolved altogether. Now, under change, what happens with project? Project changes are expected. Project managers will try to keep the change as much within control as possible. Whereas portfolio, continuous monitoring of changes in the broad environment happens as on when on basis. This is what actually needs to be done. Then we have under planning. Projects plans are created with more detail as far as the project progresses. But in portfolio, we create, maintain processes and communicate plan relative to the aggregate portfolios per se, as the case might be. Under monitoring aspect of project management and portfolio management, monitoring and control of the work of producing the products and services that the projects was undertaken to produce. Whereas in portfolio is monitoring aggregate performances and value indicators as the case might be. What about the success? Projects success is measured by achieving qualities, achieving schedule, achieving within budget constraint, and a degree of customer satisfaction. But success in portfolio is measured in terms of achieving strategic objectives. So, portfolio management process, let me give you the knowledge area. In portfolio governances, we need to identify the components with the aligning group, categorize those components, evaluate those components, select those components, prioritize the component, and if possible, balance the portfolio, authorize the components. But what happened with monitoring and control process group? You need to review and report the portfolio performances, monitor business strategic changes, communicate portfolio adjustment as on when on basis. Portfolio risk management. We under aligning group identify the portfolio risk, analyze the portfolio risk, develop the portfolio risk and responses. This is what we are striving towards. Monitoring and control process is what we keep on doing around here. Competencies required for portfolio managers. One of the major competencies is the strategic alignment. Portfolio management methods and technique, more on the next slide. Program and project management, the process development and continuous improvement, Kaizen, if I may say so, the TQM, the total quality management, the Lean Six Sigma. General business skills are all about key performance indicators, financial management, and business cases. The general management skills obviously play a major role. The stakeholder management, the vibrancy of the stakeholder would determine the direction and the rate at which objectives are being achieved. Risk and opportunity management definitely exist. As far as portfolio management and techniques, I have promised in the previous screen what needs to be elaborated. We are talking about project selection method. Now, how do we go about it? We might be talking about DSS or the decision support system. Tools and models are as in ROI, return on investment, IRR, internal rate of return, etc. Prioritizing algorithm, capability and capacity modeling, project and program auditing, organization and portfolio risk management as the case might be. Here I'm giving you a simple tools. You may pause the video at this point of time and just try to understand what is happening here. Now, what is happening is there might be an n numbers of criteria and you give weightage altogether, which should add up to 100. And based upon it, you can have low, medium, high. You can have a 5 point score, very low or very high. You can have a 7 point score, as in extreme low and extreme high, and so on and so forth. So based upon it, you will give a ratings, right? And then you will score it up, multiply it all together with a percentage. 20% of 10 would be 2, and you will have an indicators, as in what is my score that goes around here. Let us give you a portfolio balancing using indicators. Now, if you can map it down, and if you look at this screen, it looks like a Boston Consulting Group matrix, right? Where on an x-axis we have certain criteria, on y-axis certain criteria. Now, what are the criteria that can go? It can go as a market size on the industry size. So, if what is my market size, or what is my company size, or what is my industry size vis-a-vis, or what is my revenue and what is my profitability as far as concerned. And if you can map it out, and you will see there are a number of projects which are mapping around. Some are does not take much of a cash, they get completed. Some are very much cash intensive, probably. Some are only for reputation that you do. Some are easy as your bread and butter, and things like that. So portfolio risk management, portfolio risk on certain events that may affect at least one strategic business objective and may have an impact on one or more success criteria of the portfolio. Successful portfolio management develops a balanced portfolio, considering the risk tolerance of the organization and ensuring that the projects and the programs manage their risk proactively to protect the overall portfolio. Now, risk mitigation strategies. Implementing robust risk mitigation strategies are essential to minimize the impact of the potential risk. These strategies may include risk avoidance, transfers, reduction, or acceptance, depending upon the nature of the risk. You look out here is a system of a probably a transport system that has been monitored around here. Risk monitoring and control. Continuous risk monitoring and control are critical to track identified risk, assess their status, and implements necessary adjustment to the risk management plan. This ensures that proactive management of the potential threats thereby. Integration of the risk management. Integrating risk management includes into the project life cycle is essential for proactive decision making and ensuring that the risk consideration are embedded in every project's activities. These approach enhances the overall project resiliences thereby. Portfolio risk management. Managing risk in the portfolio involves identifying, prioritizing risk across multiple projects to optimize resources allocation and minimize the potential negative impact of the overall portfolio performances. Program risk management. Effective program risk management focuses on identifying and addressing the risks that can affect the successful delivery of a program. It involves coordinating risk management efforts across multiple related projects thereby. In project risk management, the emphasis is all about identifying. Look, if we can stop the tumbling, identifying the block, you can prevent at least two blocks from falling down. The emphasis is on identifying, analyzing, and responding to the individual risk projects to ensure successful project delivery. It involves tailoring risk management approaches to specific project requirements thereby. Now, allow me to give you the best practices in risk management. Adopting best practices in risk management, such as regular risk reviews, clear communication, and proactive risk response planning, contributes to the successful project outcome and enhance the organizational skills thereby. And that is what we are supposed to look into it. in as a finale, I like to conclude it by saying that effective risk management is an integral part of project resource success. By identifying, assessing, mitigating risk across portfolios, programs, and projects, organization can enhance their resilience and ensure positive project outcomes per se. With this, I sign off from this video. Thank you for watching it till the end.